Far Cry 2 was a depressing game. Not because it was bad, because it wasn't. It's just that, well, being a mercenary with zero morals on a quest to take out a gunrunner with zero morals in a small destabilised African state can get a bit dark. It also had driving on par with playing Mario Kart with only your big toe, so that was depressing. Everything is out to kill you, the world is dry and extremely flammable, and your guns exploded if you looked at them too long. The game had this overarching feel of desperation that drew you into its world and filled you full of holes. 4 years later, a sequel was released. I can only imagine how much more depressing that one is. Huh. Well, it's certainly brighter than I was expecting. Far Cry 3 is a first-person shooter developed by Ubisoft Montreal and published by Ubisoft back in 2012. It continues the Far Cry trend of stranding you in the middle of nowhere, doing strange things for strange people to earn strange weapons to kill strange enemies. This time it's pirates. You play as Jason Brody, a stereotypical 25-year-old American who goes off with his brothers Grant and Riley, his girlfriend Lisa, and their friends Daisy, Keith and Oliver to celebrate Riley getting his pilot's license. Yeah, they kinda look like douchebags. They're told about an island where they can do anything they want, and being idiots, they decide to go skydiving there.
Think you're crazy, huh?
Yeah, that sure went well. This inane rambler over here is our main villain, Vass. He's...
Hey! You fuck! Look me in the eye! You're my bitch!
special. He wants to sell Jason and his friends into slavery, and, of course, not wanting that, Jason and his brother Grant make a sneaky escape that ends about as well as the skydiving did.
Run, Forrest! Run!
After a brisk sprint through the jungle and Babby's first murder, Jason takes a long dip in the water that fades into...
Where am I? What the hell?
Why are you doing that? Oh, okay, never mind, you keep at it. Jesus. This is Dennis, and he's apparently going to help you get your friends back. Well, in between you doing all the bitch work, freeing the island from the pirates for his Rakyat bros. What the hell is a Rakyat? I have no idea yet. All I know is they apparently tattoo unconscious foreigners and clone Jango Fett. What is this tattoo? Yeah, that. What is it anyway? Well, it's your level up system. As you play through the game, you'll gain experience. That experience gets you skill points that you can use to unlock more powers, like different takedowns, sliding, or the ability to drag people. You need a magic tattoo for that. Well, anyway. Armed with a machete, some early 2000s tribal tattoos, and Dennis's knowledge of local fauna, we hear on our walkie-talkie that Lisa might be being held at a nearby outpost. Dennis, being the good parent he is, drops us off outside the outpost and tells us to go do it ourselves, thus setting his standard for usefulness right out the gate. We liberate the outpost via murder and find out our girlfriend has been turned into a laptop. No, wait, she's just been moved elsewhere. Clearing outposts unlocks fast travel and side quests. They also net you a good chunk of experience, especially if you can stay stealthy. Unless there are dogs around, at which point you might as well just blow everything up. But how am I going to find these outposts, you scream impotently at me through your computer screens? Well, firstly, rude. Secondly, radio towers. You have to climb up these radio towers and mess with the power box so they'll work again. This will reveal that section of the map, usually net you a free gun for your armory, and give you enough phone signal to order a pizza. Me, being a strange, highly concerning man, unlocked almost all the radio towers on the first island before moving on to the next mission. So armed with a few too many guns and enough skill points for a college degree, you're pointed towards the mansion of one Dr. Earnhardt. And after farting around picking up relics, because more guns, we finally stumble upon his mansion.
See anything you fancy? I like the red ones myself. The purples will give you a lift on a grey day. Everything is excellent, really.
And he's a huge druggie. But he did find one of your friends. Oh, it's just Daisy. Throw her back. Okay, I'm just kidding. But she is being a nuisance, doing that whole dying thing. See, as she was running away from pirates, she cut herself on some poisonous plants. And the good doctor here has been giving her shots to keep her alive. And if you want her to keep living, then you're gonna have to do some spelunking.
Great. You didn't mention the cave was underwater.
Once at the cave, you do some parkour, take a leap of faith, and accidentally get high. so high that you apparently spent hours in there just wandering around licking the walls. Luckily, while you were out of it, Daisy didn't drop dead. Instead, she woke up. And now you have the unfortunate job of telling her that her boyfriend Grant really bit the bullet. As you're leaving, Dennis tells you to level up, you scrub, and points you to a location that might have some info you could use. The wreck of the Medusa, the remains of a boat currently overrun with pirates. You know, like everything else in this fucking game. You sneak in, and after shanking the codes off for a couple of guards, you listen to some pirate radio, take out the weapons stash, because Daddy Dennis told you to, and head off to Pirate Cove to release your friends. Except I didn't, because I had more important things to do, like getting more guns. The first step on this quest is Liberating Outposts. This starts off fun, but gets pretty tedious pretty quickly. Seeing as the map is, you know, huge, you're gonna need fast travel points, and the game doesn't exactly do much to mix up these outposts. Go to outpost, kill pirates, repeat. Maybe sometimes they'll have snipers or RPGs. Maybe there's an animal in a cage waiting to be let out. Maybe the game will crash and you'll have to do it all over again. Thanks, Ubisoft. And if you're expecting the radio towers to mix things up, then please tell me what it's like being wrong all the time. You climb up, flip a switch, and then zipline back down. That's it. But hey, at least the radio towers actually give you guns. Same with the relics you find throughout the map. But after you've collected those guns, the big question is, how do they feel? Pretty damn good for the most part. You start off with basic handguns. Not exactly the most earth-shattering thing, but they sound like bloody hand cannons, they feel good to use, but the only ones with above Nerf gun firepower are the 44 Magnum and the Desert Eagle. So unless you're using one of those two, you might as well use that slot for something more interesting, like a shotgun. The shotguns are nice, they hit hard, sound like a train-filled glass crashing into a concrete wall, and lets you channel your inner redneck. Goddamn there, son of a bitch. I couldn't really ask for much more. Well, actually, a cup of tea would be nice. But all that fire and thunder isn't going to get you very far if the enemy isn't right in your face. For that, you're going to need one of the game's many submachine guns or assault rifles. They mostly follow the spray and pray method of death dealing, apart from one burst fire rifle and one semi-automatic rifle. They're loud, effective, and can have a silencer stuck on them if you prefer a silent takedown. Or a machine gun will work, I guess? I mean, did you really make any noise if everyone who heard it is dead? One of life's many questions. If you'd rather have the enemies never see you, ever, then you have the sniper rifles. Throw a silencer on that and hide in a bush. They'll never see you. Probably. If all else fails, then just blow them up. And again. Just one more time, you know, for luck. Yeah, that's better. What's odd about these guns is they all have stats, but I never found it made much of a difference. It's not like you need to have to be told that a 44 Magnum is going to be more powerful than a dinky little pistol you start with. So why bother with the numbers? Is it to pad out the arsenal, Ubisoft? You can't fool me, you French bastards. Why can't I fix you? Just burn everything. Oh god, I didn't mean it, Vass. You could put the can down. So that whole attacking Pirates Cove thing didn't end well, and after getting knocked out and put through more of Vass's inane ramblings, you have to run through a burning building to save Lisa, and break your own spine to escape. One short and rather uneventful car ride later, you return to the cave under Doc's house, where you help Daisy repair a boat, and Lisa discovers the powers of Ultra Instinct. On the way out, Dennis tells you to go meet with someone called Citra. Well, where does she live? Oh, just in a fucking ancient Aztec temple. You know how this is going to end, right, Jason? I've already made a Temple of Doom joke on this channel. Don't make me make another one. Anyway, Citra is,
Fine work. I'll give it back to you, but I cut it off. Thought you liked jokes.
Nice. She won't make you a Rakyat warrior until you find something that has been lost. She won't tell you what that is, but she does give you some drugs. Okay. I guess. Whoa, personal space, but while he's high, again, Jason starts seeing visions of Vass, his friends, and Miami Vice over here, and finds an ornate knife, which is apparently the thing Citra wants. Okay, you needed drugs to tell me that? What, you couldn't draw me a picture? Do you do this when you want food? Trusting the crazy drug trip, he goes to Badtown to find the man in white, who he proceeds to stalk like a creeper and almost gets himself blown up for his troubles.
Oh my god, JC, a bomb! A bomb!
Thankfully, the game doesn't end with Jason repainting half the island bright red. Instead, we find out this man is called Willis Huntley, and he works for the CIA. Miami Vice was a cop? Nah. He'll help you get your friends, but he wants something in return. No, not that. He gives you a flamethrower and tells you to burn some weed and blow up a boat. The weed and boat belong to Hoyt, the man behind Vass's insanity and currently most dangerous man on the islands, so destroying his shit is a bit of a win-win for both of us. What's not a win is the shit Skrillex music playing in the background for the entirety of this mission. It's like a 12-year-old's YouTube playlist came to life and kicked me square in the jewels until all I could feel was pain and bass. The flamethrower is fun. Blowing up a boat is fun. Any of you hear sirens? Listening to this shit makes me want to swallow the RPG and flop right into the flames. Anyway, with Hoyt's weed thoroughly smoked and nautical transport on this island set back a good few years, we head back to Huntley to get some info on Jason's missing friends. This time around, we're going after Keith. Good news? He's still alive. Bad news? He's been sold to a hitman named Buck. We find him at the Badtown bar, and instead of just immediately mounting his head on a wall, we agree to help him find a knife. The same knife Citra wants. What do I want more? Magic powers or touchy-feely? We begin the hunt by boarding the Nostalgia, a boat off the coast of the island. More pirates die, laptops get hacked, and an ancient compass is nicked. How does this keep happening? Well, hope you like swimming. After escaping the ruined boat, we return to Buffalo Bill to show him the compass, like the good boy we are, and use it to point us to the knife, hopefully. It's apparently housed in an old World War II Japanese bunker, and Buck's already there. Okay, well, whatever. Dig far enough down and you'll find some Chinese ruins, which, for once, aren't filled with zombies or hell demons. The knife also isn't here, but another ring for the compass is. Buck isn't too happy about this.
No, Jason, that's not all right. It's just a little fucking knife that I asked you to get me, but you're too bloody incompetent, too fucking lazy to get it for me. Too busy playing games, aren't you? Well, fine. I just gotta play a game of pin the tail of the donkey with Keith.
And off we go to find the knife. Again. And Oz is already here. Again. Yeah, I'm slightly concerned now. Oh look! More ruins. Still no demons. Or knife. Just another ring pointing us somewhere else. Neat. Can we just find the damn thing already? Oh look, Buck's there. Again. Could you just not? More caves, more ruins, some acid, Tomb Raider contraptions, and holy shit, there it is. Can I have my magic powers now? No, unfortunately, we need to give it a down under and save Keith from... Yeah, I ain't touching that subject with a 2-mile barge pole. After a quick time event, we do touch Buck though. Like, really deep. Back to the cave. So, Riley's dead. Oops. As you can imagine, losing 2 family members in such a short space of time hasn't done wonders to Jason's mind.
Hey, I got a crazy question. You won first place at that swimming championship this year, right?
Yeah, 400 meter.
What did it feel like, winning? Not afterward on the podium, but in the water when you hit the pad.
Like I was really present. Like the whole world was me.
You know, I never thought I'd be able to kill someone. The first time it felt wrong. Which is good, right? But now, it feels like winning.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
While I found the story thus far to be a bit hit and miss, Jason's slow mental descent and growing indifference to murder is rather interesting. He didn't come into this as a trained mercenary, he's just some 20-year-old thrill-seeker off celebrating. Now he's covered in strange magical tattoos and gunning down pirates. I've seen some games shrug this kind of damage off, but Far Cry 3 at least tries to explore how all this shit is warping him. How well it pulls it off is up to you, although all this island fun hasn't done much for his driving skills either. Side note, you now need to equip the repair tool. Why was that changed in Far Cry 2's pull it out of your ass method? I have no idea. Why would I waste a weapon slot on a blowtorch? Why won't you let me fix my car? Why are we back at the spooky temple? Oh right, Citra wants a letter opener back. She spins you a yarn about how the Rakyat was started. Something about a giant getting beheaded. Anyway, she wants you to rescue some warriors. As usual, it ends well. But we're imprisoned. Again. But this time they actually take my shit. Rude. They also make you sit through more of Vass's rambling.
The first time somebody told me that, I don't I thought they were...
Oh god, just shut up. He tries to drown us, but fails miserably.
Oh, fuck you!
And after killing some pirates, Metal Gear style, we nick a chopper. Hey buddy, could you not? Well, I should have expected this. Oh, hey there buddy, how's things? Oh, so we're a zombie now. Or not. Thanks for the lighter, Vass. Time to go back to Citra again. She gets us high. Could we go 5 minutes without pulling a Keith Richards? Is that a giant? I feel this is a little bit above my pay grade. It's actually not that bad. Just shoot in the face with your arrows and then go all Shadow of the Colossus on it. Oh god, bad touch, stranger danger! At this point, Jason is a little bit too into this. Whatever apprehension he had about killing is now completely gone. He's 100% behind leading the Rak-Yak to victory against the pirates. He's being manipulated by everyone except his friends, who just want to fix the boat and get off the island. I mean, Riley is dead. There's no reason to stick around, except for revenge. And with the Rak-Yak building up Jason's bloodlust, that's what we're gonna do. Time to die, Vass. We go all one-man army on his island and, oh for fuck's sake, can we go 5 minutes without being ambushed? Do you have peripheral vision, Jason? Or, wait, are we high again? No, this is the fight with Vass. After all the dirty stuff he's done to you and your friends, all the horrible things he's done to the people on this island, and we don't even really get to fight him. Instead, you shoot some clones and shank him in a cutscene. This is so shit. From what I can tell, it's trying to point out how much Vass and Jason are alike now, the violence and drugs on the island having corrupted them both, but you could have done this in an actual fight instead of whatever this was. It's pathetic. But whatever, with Vass dead, Jason goes to visit his friends to tell them he's staying on the Rook Islands to become a full-on George of the Jungle. They take it well.
Go on then. Take care of yourself. That's what you're good at.
And we get ready to take on the last target, Hoyt. But, I'm sure he can wait a few more days. I need to upgrade my pockets. How else am I going to carry all these leaves? Jason apparently took a lot of arts and crafts classes back at school, because to upgrade your bag of holding, you need to hunt and skin animals and sew those skins into some kind of pouch. Oh god, I love animals. I don't want to do this. Can I use human skin? We'll just pretend I never said that. This experience can range from fun, tense and interesting to how many pigs do I need to shoot just to hold one more grenade. Much like the Outpost, it starts fun but gets really repetitive. I mean, while the jungle looks nice, chasing a deer around just so I can hold 10 more bullets gets old after like the 5th time. To make this process more painful, some of these animals can get you in a QTE. I recommend high explosives for them. Or a car. I'd also recommend not being scared of water, because you're going to need to hunt some sharks. Or just stand on the shore and pelt them with bullets, because I've seen Jaws, I know how this'll end. Once you're at the final upgrade, you're going to need to do a Trial of the Hunter mission for the final animal skin. It's just a special variant of a normal animal, but once you have the skin and finally have all those upgrades, you can start feeling like Rambo. Seriously, being able to lob 12 grenades at once at one poor pirate makes all that repetition worthwhile. If you need more things to tear you away from what you're supposed to be doing, you can read the handbook. You nerd. Kill. Do supply missions. Kill. Race. Which I didn't do. Kill. You can also fly around with the hang glider, which is amazing and should be in more games. It even spawns in an eagle to fly with you. You know what, let's just skip the middleman and I'll just play as the damn eagle. I'll peck Hoyt's eyes out, it's fine. What's better than a hang glider? Try a fucking wingsuit. You ever have that dream where you're falling really fast and wake up right before you hit the ground? This is like that, except with a parachute and a horrible fisheye lens that makes it look like you're entering a black hole. I mean, it's still great, but I might be sick. Before we can projectile vomit all over the treetops, however, we need to go see Huntley about our way over to Hoyt's Island. Turns out he's getting out while the getting's good and going to Russia on a new mission, but he will drop us off as a farewell present. So we race over there, defend him from the Torrent Triad, and take to the skies on our way to the end game. In the sky, Hunt tells us to head to the Crazy Cock. Wow, I don't even need to try to make a joke about that one. And whistle the Star-Spangled Banner to attract Hunt's undercover colleague. He gives us the wingsuit and out we go. Ugh, I need a drink after that. Oh god, are you really gonna make me play poker? The last time I played poker, it involved some English and an angry genie. But hey, I won. Does that mean I get to keep my soul? Is that a no? This is Sam, Hunt's German-American colleague, and he's going to help us get inside Hoyt's operation. How, you ask? By sneaking onto a boat, killing a recruit, wearing his clothes, listening to Hoyt's, rousing motivational speech, and setting up a plan with Sam to take out some traitors. Their death will get us further into Hoyt's operation, and after defusing some bombs... I'm fucking dying inside. And shanking a note off a guard, we find their meeting point, but the guy handing off the roll sheet gets stuck in a bridge. Thanks, Ubisoft! With the roll sheet in our possession and pictures of the dead backstabber, maybe some nice landscapes thrown in, I don't know what Jason does with that camera, we take them to Hoyt, who is pretty happy and will let us into his little inner circle of doom if we interrogate a prisoner being held downstairs. Oh hey, it's Riley. I forgot you existed. That's for making me think you were dead. Actually, this sequence acts as the shock needed to really make Jason question what he's doing here. You see, Hoyt has cameras in the room, and Jason has to torture his brother. Sam does freeze the camera for a little bit, but that isn't going to be enough. This seems to shake Jason somewhat out of his desensitized state, and later on when Dennis calls and outright tells Jason to forget Riley because the Rakyat are his family now, let's just say if you didn't get the hint that the Rakyat aren't as nice as they make out, well, here's your giant neon warning sign. Jason wants to get Riley out now, but that would go about as well as the skydiving did. Thankfully, Sam is the true Ubermensch and actually has a plan. Blow up Hoyt's communication base, destroy his fuel supply, and kill him at that night's poker game. The communication dish is simple to deal with, and Sam can thankfully fly a helicopter better than the last guy we hitched a ride with. The fuel stations, however, are packed to the gills with privateers, and Sam has all the defence of a rugby team made up of small cardboard babies. At least he brought a Jeep with a 50 cal mounted on it. That's more than Dennis ever gave me. So with Hoyt's TV gone and his fuel now being sniffed by local bears, it's time to play some more poker. Yeah, I should have guessed this was coming. Hey, not the finger. Oh, now I can't press W. How can I walk forward now? This tips Jason over the edge, and we finally take on Hoyt. In the negative zone. Just like we did with Buck and Vass. Apparently this represents Jason going nuts and massacring every bad guy in the room. But you know what would have been better than this drug trip nonsense? Actually fucking seeing it. All we get for boss fights in this game are incredibly anticlimactic quick-time events, while Jason and said boss ramble at each other. I'd rather have a dance-off than this trash. I get that it's supposed to be cinematic, but if I wanted cinematic, I'd just watch a film. Okay, maybe not that one. But whatever, Hoyt's dead, and we need to get to the airport before Riley is shipped off to his... buyer? Owner? How does this work? Now this actually feels like a climax. Enemies everywhere, gunfire raining overhead, and after getting Riley out, a climactic helicopter escape back to the doctor's mansion. You could have just thrown Hoyt in as an enemy here, make him tougher, or give him a chopper we can shoot down. You know, suck less. Hey, remember what I said about the Rakyat not being nice? Well, they've killed the old doc and stolen your friends, and it's up to the brothers to save them. Before we even have a chance to ask for an explanation, crazy culty Citrus blasts pixie dust in our face, and we're sent back into another fucking drug trip. Oi, give me back my tattoos. I like looking like a Game Boy Advance. Whoa, okay Jason, we're gonna need really good lawyers. Here is our ending choice. Kill Lisa and our friends and complete the path, becoming the ultimate Rakyat warrior, staying with Citra, or cut them loose and leave the island, putting all this behind us. Cutting them loose is the ending that makes sense to me. After all the violence, all the grief and pain, revenge has been taken and all his friends have been saved. It's just time to go home and try to piece us all back together.
This violence is over. I'm done. No more blood.
Before we can even take one step out of the temple, however, Citra begs us to stay, and Dennis gets really, really angry.
It's all of us. And you reject our love. Ah!
You know, I'd feel bad, but she was damn crazy. I think it's time to go.
I've killed so many people, I've lost count. I can't come back from this. I'm a monster. I can feel the anger inside me. But I am still somewhere inside me more than that.
The other ending is far less optimistic. If you choose to, Jason kills Lisa, the Rakyat kill his friends, and Jason gets laid and quickly Kalimard. I said I'd do it. You didn't listen. I like the other ending better. I just think it fits the story better, and I don't die. So after all this took so long to write, someone buy me a goddamn drink. Do I like Far Cry 3? Yes. Yes, I do. While its side content is kind of monotonous, and by the end of the game I just stopped doing it, the story, characters and gunplay kept me interesting for the entire run. While Far Cry 2 ran off its moralless characters and dark, depressing atmosphere, Far Cry 3 runs off its action thriller storyline and somewhat believable and mostly likeable characters. Hell, the graphics are nice. It's just too bad about all the dubstep on the soundtrack. The biggest issue I had was the villains. They just seemed so lame. Buck was like a poor man's Buffalo Bill. Vass was written like someone read one book on philosophy and went, yep, this'll work. And Hoyt is barely a thing till the end. I've had more screen time than he did. But even with those flaws, I had fun with Far Cry 3, and as long as you don't try to complete all the side content right out the gate like I did, you'll probably find it all a bit more palatable. Now go have a jungle adventure, just try not to join any cults. We need that plot point for Far Cry 5. Also, this game has Herc. He likes monkeys.